Oh, I'm seeing double phones. 1940s films. All loose bullets roll into these films. Well, that'll keep up the illusion that it's run by technology and unslaved gremlins peddling giant wheels. Dial comes to town and is soon deported back to Paraguay. Oh, no sense in denying it, Pop. The art of forging banknotes is dead. How is LLMaine?
Charlie, what's new today? Oh, same old thing, I guess.
With a bit more radium poisoning than yesterday.
I was wondering where that doggone kid...
Yo, honey, we could be like Sergey and Charlotte, you and I.
Starting supper. I'm going to help her as soon as I finish this algebra problem.
Well, just solve it like you do every problem. Suck it till it's soaking wet. Charles Foster Kane farts after a lifetime of service.
Hey, you know what it says here?
Then you're probably where Leslie Nielsen got his whole
All
act.
our phones and put in them kind with dials on them.
Oh, Gramps, that's yummy. Does it say how soon?
I swear you must have gotten your brain in an automat.
Super.
Oh, sure.
What'd you say, Gramps?
I said disgruntled scoff!
As soon as a man gets used to one thing, by golly, somebody wants to take it away from him.
Don't you dare tread on my soup can and strings.
We've had that old phone since... Well, I bet since Daddy was a boy. We ought to be glad to have modern telephones.
I'd be glad to see you wearing a longer skirt when you go out.
Never satisfied these days.
Well, thanks a lot. You just pushed the bullet that's in my skull deep into my...
I'm going to call up Ed Huckster there and find out what he thinks about all this business.
But Pop, he's been dead for 10 years. Don't shit in my boots and tell me it's a rock slide. Come now, old friend. You're going for the window at the Waffle House.
Give me 344J.
And a double order of
Thank you,
coleslaw.
kindly.
Don't talk too long, Gramps. Supper will be ready in a few minutes.
I beg you, seal your trap before I tell the operator so she can hear me bash your head in with this thing.
Hello. Ed? I say, is this Ed Huckstetter talking?
And yes, I do have Prince Albert in a can. No, I'm not letting him out.
Hold on close to your phone. Ain't gonna bite you, Ed.
Speak for yourself. My face is frozen from rabies.
Can't you hear me? I was talking about aeroplanes, skywriting.
Ladies and gentlemen, the generation that raised Tim Walls.
Tricks? Right over town? Sure, I can see it from a front porch.
And you're just gunning down Tojo's left to right. I am soaked in nips of nip blood.
By Grammy, I knew that'd make all them eavesdroppers hang up and run outside.
Oh, Magooner, you've done it again.
Ollie, you ain't changed a bit.
But seriously, when are you gonna develop limbs and start walking on the land? When they're putting quarters on my eyelids.
Dial telephone? Yes, I did hear something about it down at the grocery store this morning.
After chugging the spoiled milk on a dare.
Everybody thought it was a good idea.
And they caught the whole thing on an 8mm.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
You say it's time for me to start haunting my own house? For more girl bosses?
I'm just wondering why they
Might do nothing, granddaughter. Can't iron a sock. What makes her qualified to be a girl boss?
See here, I ain't no more old-fashioned than you are.
Improve it, Jack. Rub your wrinkled nuts on the receiver.
Grandpa'll get used to it, Jeannie.
After all, Ovaltine has new and improved taste.
Washer, remember?
Yes, and he wouldn't go near it for weeks. He even likes to work it now.
Oh, hi, Boris Karloff.
Have dial phones put in. Grandpa read about it in the paper.
Yes, I heard about it today. Ought to be a fine improvement for us here in town.
First thing to come to this town since that press gang.
You can pour the water, honey.
Okay, Mom.
And try not to drool into the pitcher this time, sweetie.
He's trying to get Huckstetter now.
Yeah, listen, don't tell Mother, but I cut myself because of your birth.
All right, when he hears there might be some new construction going on. He'll go down there every day if he can and tell him how to do it.
But I keep telling him if he was in the Bohemian Grove, he could really get things moving.
What kind of meetings, Charlie?
Oh, to tell folks all about the new system, how it works and everything. John Cook will be the main speaker.
John Cook?
You know, he's the telephone manager.
And the guy whose rotary you've been dialing since 39. I should have known a harlot like you would have lied to me at the altar.
Going then.
Can I go too, Daddy?
You won't have to, Jeannie.
After you somehow got trapped in your own lunchbox, you've been advised to stay under heavy supervision.
Hey, what's going on here?
Well, Dad, we gave it a lot of thought, and we've decided to put you on an ice floe.
Where's that supper I was going to be late for?
Oh, you're just in time.
We're talking about going to a meeting, Dad.
And number one, I already told those nosy fucks at the AA where they can go.
Can't go. I'm going to watch Ed Huckstetter paint his wife's pantry.
I told you, if you're going to make sexual innuendos, have them make sense.
Won't be for some time yet.
I'm waving the white flag. My dick's completely impotent. One half came for the presentation, the other half came for slam poetry about race relations.
I know you're excited to look at it, but let's just get this thing to Machu Picchu first.
I'm giving you a choice, lady. Either remove your head or I throw my dialysis machine at you. Heat. Evening, flesh and molecule-based vessels. You know what I say? Fuck these papers. People need to know the truth about dials.
It won't be long now until your no-dial telephones are ready to serve you.
So invest heavy in firearms and take as many photos with your children while you still have the chance.
Up-to-date telephone system here as any in America. Now, most of you are acquainted with what a dial telephone looks like because
You
nearly
have beaten
of the
all resistance
installations have been
senseless
made
with
in your
them.
homes. But lots of other work has been going on around town too, as you've probably noticed.
Yes, I've noticed the workers have gotten darker
The
than
wiring that
usual.
runs
Let's
to
not
your
talk about
homes
that
has
right
been
now.
checked. New pole lines have been put up.
By people with one shared goal of trying to
And new
fuck
cable
the
has been
sun.
pulled into place. Things were happening behind the scenes too.
That's right. Big
In
Dial
fact,
is in
the
bed with
planning and the
13
work on
congressmen
your new
and a
dial
White House
system has been
correspondent.
underway for some time. A good many months
Like,
ago.
remember,
our
make the
engineers
suit
drew
as
up the
stiff
plans
and
for the new
uncomfortable
equipment.
for him as possible so he
It was
doesn't try to
built to these
escape the main.
No,
in
asshole,
Western
you move
Electric
it to the
sectors.
left. No, my left. It's just your first time operating one of these things.
Throughout the whole bell system. But each community has its own telephone needs.
Some people want the radio
Our
waves to
equipment
give
must
them
be built to
cancer.
fit those needs. Not only for today,
Take my breath
but for
away.
years to come.
Bum bum. Bum
Sometimes
bum.
new buildings
Bum,
are
bum.
required to hold the dial equipment.
We also kidnapped Roosevelt and put him in one of these buildings.
We try to have them
And they
harmonized
don't
with
have
the
wheelchair
sound.
ramps.
It took a lot of time for our men to install equipment for dial service.
About 90% of
and it
that
took
time
many
was
days
spent
to put
hammering
the new
out
telephones
union
in your
contracts.
homes. A little later on, I'm going to ask Miss White of our traffic department.
If he'd like to do something I
demonstrate
call
how
the
to make a call with
Trans-Alaskan
your dial
Pipeline.
But
I
right
swear,
now,
what
I want you to
arcane
listen to
black
a man
magic
who has
brought this
been working on the
ventriloquist
job
dummy
of
to
getting
life?
dial service ready
I
for
blame
you.
Jeannie.
I'd like
I
Mr.
know it
Johnson
was
of our
Jeannie.
traffic department to get up and tell you what happens during the actual cutover from the old system to the new one.
Or I could just demonstrate it for you right now. How about another hand for your host, ladies and gentlemen?
Well,
Here's a
ladies
man
and
so
gentlemen,
stiff he needs a wind-up
Of course
crank
you
just to
know from what
masturbate.
You've already heard that putting things in good shape for the new system has been quite a job.
Hell, putting this turncoat on was a
now
job in
is
and of
We're
itself.
heading toward the time when we make the actual change to the new service.
I know.
What we call
Just 10 more minutes and you can get a drink at the
so
open
that
bar.
there'll be no break in the community service.
Are we not
All
men?
be done.
We are Devo!
Only
You
8
can
seconds.
see these
Looks
are
like you
mighty
men are ready to
important
express your
seconds,
disillusionment
and
with
mighty
society and the
exciting.
idea that it's devolving based on the events of the
When
Kent
the
State
signal is
Massacre.
given, the little fuses are pulled out of the lines that were part of the switchboard system.
Oh fuck! I had 10,000 volts going for my body all at once! I'm
And almost
convulsing!
the same instant, few seconds at most,
Well,
we close the
2 years of engineering and
dial
it just
apparatus,
falls apart?
and it is ready to handle your call.
Of course, only after you've bought a round
From
of
now on,
drinks.
You will have a dependable electrical operator at your service. Ready
Lay in the front
at
row.
An instant's
I
notice.
can give you one of these.
One that will be there 24 hours a day to handle your calls.
And thanks to our DEI initiatives, we have gotten ourselves an armless deaf mute to do that for us.
Which says the same thing, electrically.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson.
Mr. Johnson, everybody. Accurate name too. Hornier than a wild ibex. This guy would fuck a parking meter if there was still time in it.
Miss White.
Mr. Johnson has just
Giving me a railing hard enough to split my pelvis in two.
by an electrical operator. Of course, you've got to understand that the dial system doesn't do away with the need for human operators.
Oh my god. I wish someone would just thrown a fucking tea kettle at her face when she
We
said
have more
that.
operators than we ever had before. Better service means that people
Okay, we
make
just
more
need to stay on the
calls.
line, sir. Where
More
did you
calls
put the
mean
head?
More operators.
Sir, if you have a problem with what I
Dial
say
the
about your
dial.
mother, why don't you
You'll
come
still
up
be
here and
placing
fight me about it, huh?
out-of-town calls. You'll still want us to find unlisted numbers for you.
Well, you're gonna have to do
Or
that
you
shit by
may need
yourself, West
manager.
Virginia, specifically.
But don't worry, you'll find operators just as before when you need them.
And notice how I can't say that without a shit-eating grin.
Before, but perhaps you'd like to know why it works the way it does.
No? Well, maybe you want to see pictures of my 5th grade recital?
As you can see,
Ooh, I gotta be careful of my footing there, nearly went up my hymen.
Suppose you've got a number you want to call.
Let's say you were to call my number.
Take up
Please.
the receiver and listen for the dial tone.
And if nobody rings for it,
Start sound.
at least there's that bottle of painkillers in the sink. And this is what happens when you dial 666.
The dial tone is the equipment's way of telling you.
Not
that
to
it's
call
ready
up the
to
movie
put
phone
your
guy,
phone.
just to pleasure yourself to the
As
sound of
Mrs.
his
Johnson
voice.
pointed out, it's the same as an operator saying, "Number, please." If you don't hear the dial tone within a reasonable time,
And the pills haven't kicked in yet, there's always the third story window of your apartment.
try again. As soon as you hear the dial tone,
You wrap the demon phone up in a blanket and drown it in an old well.
but before we do that, let's examine the dial itself for a moment.
Lots of faded numbers,
When you
speckles of
operate the
dirt and
dial,
soot, blood and hair
Bring
caught
it
in the
around
handle.
to the finger stop, and then release it.
There, that should waste a
Electrical
good
code
12
message
seconds.
Is sent to the automatic equipment in the central office.
I just remembered to hang that phone up and we had the direct line to the KGB going. In short, we're all fucked.
As representing the central office dial equipment. For example, if the first number you dial is 5, a 5 signal is received at the central office.
And it is promptly converted into every other number but 5. By the way, if anyone's wondering why I move like an embalmed blow-up doll, don't ask me.
Here, the signal appears in the first column of lights as 5.
If any of you feel like trying to choke on your own saliva to get out of this mess, I don't blame you. I whine out just as much as you do.
The signal appears in the next column of lights as 6.
We better wrap it up. I need to give this display back to my daughter for the science fair tomorrow. All of the lights that you can't tell are on because
It will
it's black
appear
and
in
white.
The third column of lights, and so on. Of course, the dial equipment receiving these signals in the central office is quite different from anything we have here on the platform.
0.00001
The
kilobytes.
dial will cause a
Ain't that
particular
fascinating?
signal to be sent to the dial equipment in the central office.
Now that we've called Ghost the
Now let's start
Jew,
at the very
let's
beginning.
listen as he
This is
rants
what you
and
do
smashes
when
up
you
his
wanna call
numerous
someone.
beer can towers.
First, you get the number from
The
your
weird,
directory.
creepy varicose veins on my arms. If you haven't gathered it by now, I'm
4,
secretly
5,
Margaret
6,
Hamilton.
7. Then, pick up your telephone and listen.
I
for
crush the dial in my bare hands every time I
As
try to
soon as
use
hear
it,
the
so
dial
you have to
tone,
call.
You can start to dial the number. Here's the dial tone. Four.
Oh, 4. There's gonna be nothing there, is it?
Notice the first column has received the signal 4. And so on with 5.
When it gets hard, I just fantasize the ceiling light crashing down upon my head and killing me instantly.
And 7.
And now we'll demonstrate it again in Portuguese.
Always pull the dial all the way around to the finger stop.
And make sure your head is lined up right up against it
So that the
before you
dial
release it.
swings back of its own accord.
This means we're
This is
dealing with
important
very boring
because
paranormal
electrical
activity.
signals are sent to the dial
Check your noses, they probably
only
already
as
picked them
dial
clean.
back. Any interference with the return of the dial may result in you
Being
getting a wrong
tortured
number.
personally by one of the people you have
Soon
seen
after
up
the
here
last
tonight.
number is dialed, you will usually hear this tone.
Rico, aquí, they need you to make the sound again. Oh, that hurt my throat.
Miss Lonstein, when can I see my children again?
That's the ringing signal.
Miss,
It tells
please,
you that the
you'll not
telephone
answer
at
my
the number you
question.
called is ringing. The party at this number will hear a clear, evenly spaced ring.
After we have
That sounds
succeeded
like
in
this.
blowing out their eardrums.
Oh, that hurts even worse. Oh, madre de Dios, que me estoy muriendo. I am going to kill her tonight.
The ring will continue until the telephone is answered.
Or until no one's left to ring it.
When you've dialed a number and that line is busy, you'll hear a signal like this.
No, chinga tu madre, I am on strike. Ah!
If you hear the busy signal,
Then frantically bash the receiver into the wall until you give yourself a
for the
stroke.
people who are talking on the line to finish, then try again. When you raise your telephone,
Speak roughly to it and beat it when it sneezes.
discover someone else talking on the line, hang up, and try again.
You are uglier
after you've
than
waited a
15
reasonable time.
Bowdikes put together.
Also, if you lift your receiver and hear the clicks that indicate someone else on the line is dialing,
You may have hermit
hang up
crabs
as
hiding in
carefully
your
as
phone.
possible. But no matter how often or when you call,
Make sure to name
always be
exact
sure to listen
locations
for the
so they know
dial
you're
tone
serious when you
before
call
start
in the
to
bomb
dial.
threat.
For instance, if you should dial 8, before hearing the
What are you
dial
pointing at
tone,
my number for, lady? I ain't got no
may
dancing
register
ladies.
only, well, some other number.
Please, you have to help me. This is getting so awkward.
I think my back knee is coming back.
The reason is really very simple. You started to dial before the equipment was ready.
You absolute bronze-aged bozo. I mean, have you ever seen a number before outside of a dog racing track?
Here are first, look up the number in your new directory,
Which we will replace all of your burned books with.
raise your telephone,
With
and listen to
nurture,
the dial
not
tone.
nature.
Listen to me, you vile fish hag. I quit.
Dial each number carefully.
You wouldn't want to get your
Making
penis
sure
caught
you
on them
bring the
again.
dial all
Richard.
the way
Hey,
around
hey,
the
hey, what happened to
top
keeping a
of the
secret,
time.
whore?
Then let go.
Something that my bipolarness would never allow me to do.
Don't try to hurry it back.
Because trust me, it'll snap you with the major uggos.
I'm sure if you follow these simple rules, you'll find your new dial telephones easy to operate.
Provided you are under heavy sedation with a team of Ivy League surgeons at your whim.
Thank you.
Give it up for Dollar, ladies and gentlemen. Proof that women are not only not funny, but they're not funny to riff. Sweetie, no, you're not supposed to throw the pattern into your own hands. What's another bulk package from the Oriental Trading Company? Oh wait, I'm just realizing this is one of those bath books for children. Alright, so I can turn off that dang blasted music. I mean, why don't they ever play something like Ricky Martin on this dang thing? He's stepping over the carpeted hole in the floor right now. Why is it dang blasted? Is this because the car flipped over on the way home? Alright, old friend. You and the rope are gonna make me a very happy man. Come on, everybody screaming in body snatcher style, just like we rehearsed. Oh wait, no one actually cares about it. It's just indifference. Yes, I hear it. Stage free of everywhere at the end of time.
The right noise. Now let me see. 4, 1, 9.
And with that number, Pop was officially a Nigerian prince.
This head of Hockstetter?
Yeah, check your window. We have to surrender to the Japanese.
Hard to work.
No, sir. Got the call through first time I tried. Real nice and clear, too, isn't it?
But the phone was not plugged in.
God,
He was
if I
talking
don't
to
think
nobody,
this darn thing is
and
gonna
that was the
work out
last
pretty
thing
good at
Pop
that.
ever remembered.
Yeah.
Social workers would later find him dead in a bathtub with all his clothes on and the receiver snugly tucked under his breast. The death was ruled as suicide for 4 minutes until Jeannie revealed she killed him whilst licking the underside of a trampoline.